Welcome to Six Sigma Online Certifications. We are on the topic Analyze Phase, Hypothesis Testing Part 3. In this video, we will discuss about sample size calculations. The sample size calculations are important for a valid hypothesis test. We need to determine a significant sample size which will ensure the hypothesis tests are statistically valid. The factors on which this sample size depends are standard deviation of the process, which is variation in the process. Lower is the variation, smaller is the sample size. Practically, if sigma is small, we will have very high process capability. So if the process capability is high, we can do several trials at very small sample size. Therefore, we should design a process with low standard deviations. The second parameter which determines sample size is the effect that we desire to see. So if we make a change in the process, we want to see how much difference from the present value to the other value is called as delta. This delta, whenever this delta is small, we need to take a bigger sample size. When this delta is big, the sample size is smaller. The third factor which determines the sample size is alpha, which is also called as probability of type 1 error. What is type 1 error? It is considering HO false when it is in fact true. This is indicated by the red portion in this graph. You can see this value, when increases, our sample size reduces. The beta is the probability of type 2 error, which is considering HO true when it is actually false. So you can see the blue portion indicates beta. So these are the four factors which determine the sample size. Let us take an example. The standard deviation of the process B is 0.03, the delta is 0.04, alpha is 0.05, and beta is 0.1, which is therefore power is 1 minus beta is equal to 0.9. We go to our mini tab, stat, power and sample size calculation. Sample Z test, in which we leave sample size blank so that we are able to calculate it. The difference that we want to see is 0.04. The power value is 0.9. And the standard deviation is 0.03. We go to the options and we keep not equal to as alternate hypothesis, and our alpha is 0.05, and we click OK, and we get the sample size as 6. So this is the sample size that we calculated for a delta difference of 0.4, and the power of the sample is 0.9, sample size is 6, alpha is 0.05, standard deviation 0.03, and our alternate hypothesis is not equal to. Thank you very much for testing your knowledge on this video, or for Six Sigma certifications, visit leandigit.com. For more knowledge on the topic, please subscribe our channel.